You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Wepa, what is up, my beautiful Comic Crusaders, my indie warriors, my crowdfund conquerors, and panel flipping legends of the universe? I hope you guys been well, because today, baby, wepa, I'm telling you, we are going to be stepping into mystery, into legacy, into secrets that whisper in the dark and punch you in the soul with storytelling power. That's right, baby. Because on this episode today, we are spotlighting an indie creator who is not just making comics. She is building a world. You heard? A mythology, a layered universe dripping with intrigue, emotion, and that delicious slow burn tension that we live for in indie storytelling. Now, she's got a live campaign right now that's on FundMyComic.com, right? It's turning heads and it's raising eyebrows in the best way possible. Now, we're talking about the book titled Veiled Legacy. Yeah. A project that blends depth, mystery, identity, and the kind of narrative ambition that says, oh, we're not playing small over here. Ladies and gentlemen, creators and backers, welcome to the show, the one, the bold, the visionary behind Veiled Legacy, the one only Dani Soncasie. How you doing, man?
That is the best intro I have ever had.
Well, you deserve it. Let's go, man, because you got this fire project, you pimping, you going through things right now. People don't even know. This lady here, she doing her thing, going through what she going through, and it's amazing. I am here standing humble. I'm here about to complain that I'm getting a little slight headache, but nah, man, mommy been through words, and she here standing up, doing the project. So the folks, you know what I mean? Like, no excuses, no excuses. She's legendary right here. So Dani, we gotta start talking. We gotta start talking, Dani. So talk to me. When did you first realize you weren't just reading comics, that you were mentally rewriting them?
Oh my gosh, over 20 years ago.
Ooh, talk to me about that early fandom.
Well, I actually grew up in Shriners Hospital for Children.
Okay.
I'm disabled, and I spent my entire childhood just getting worked on like Rocket Raccoon, man. Sorry about that.
She
And
said Rocket Raccoon, my God.
yeah. And back then, you didn't really have internet and stuff, but there was this awesome comic store nearby that would donate comic books. And so on Thursdays, it was awesome. And I would wheel down there and get a stack of comic books. I think the first one I grabbed for myself was a Batman comic book.
Why Batman?
It had
what attracted you to the cover? I had the Huntress. You saw
it had Huntress on there.
I love Huntress. Listen, ladies, I'm a single man. If you want to cosplay Huntress, is my favorite.
I do not blame you. I do not blame you.
Huntress.
She's beautiful. She is powerful. And the thing I loved about DC women superheroes, especially Huntress and Wonder Woman, who is my favorite, was that they didn't sacrifice that femininity and sensuality for the strength and power. And I felt that was very important. I've always felt that's important.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel that's something we have lost today in modern female superheroes in comics and TV shows and movies. So I would grab these comics, I would go back to my room, and I would just live in my head in these books, and it really got me through some of the roughest times. And it was about 23, 24 years ago that I was a mother of 3 at the time. I have 4 now.
Oh, wow.
And I was married, living in Hawaii, and a stay-at-home mom. And I just had this idea in my head that wouldn't leave. And I was just kind of seeing it as panels in my head. But at the time, I was not in a very healthy place, I'll say. And I really didn't have a way or the know-how to reach out and figure out how to make this happen on my own. So what I did was I just wrote a book. I just wrote a whole book. In fact, I have it right here. This was the book I wrote.
Oh, there you go.
Back then, I did not have an editor, and I am very much a squirrel at a rave, and I really needed an editor. I was one of those people that, you hear editor, you think that's a dirty word. They're gonna, cut your vision.
They're gonna ruin your vision. I hear you.
They're gonna ruin your vision.
Yeah, I understand that. I hear that so frequently, but then I also hear the total opposite, which you're probably going to get into.
Yes. So I wrote this, and I swear to you, I feel like the company that published this book, it was some kind of, like front for money laundering or something. It
was
had
a cartel. We need a book.
Yeah. So, because I had no editor, I had nothing.
Bigger than Al Capone. Oh my God.
I was 24. I was a baby. I had all these kids, and I just wrote it all down. And the way I look at this now is it's kind of a first draft. It's a good idea, but looking back now, was it truly worthy to be, published the way it was? Nah. But I'm glad I have it, so I have something to look back at now.
Of course.
And then after that, I became a single mom of 4 and put myself back through school and was raising a bunch of kids. I am disabled. I have a prosthetic leg myself. And I was doing hair, raising kids, being disabled. I don't know how else to put it. It's, wasn't exactly easy. And thankfully, I eventually got in a wonderful supportive relationship that allowed me an opportunity to actually do the things that I want, and not just do the things that I want, but facilitate and encourage that. This absolutely wonderful man that became my partner in many, many ways. And he kind of said to me once, he's like, why don't you write again? I'm like, oh gosh, I don't even really but that's all he needed to say. The kernel was there, and I did. I wrote, and by happenstance, I'm telling you, God is real. He is.
Agreed.
And he has a plan. And I was on a stream with Caro Brown, who is she calls herself a person employed by Rippaverse Comics because she does so many different things.
And Rippaverse is awesome. Yeah,
yes.
I dig what Eric July is doing. So much respect to Eric, because again, just don't listen to none of these haters. I see all of that. And it's funny, when it happens to be a person that happens to be a minority is when all of a sudden they get attacked. But if somebody of a different color was doing it, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have a problem. You know what I mean? So shout out to Eric July. I would love to talk to him and talk about that, like how he keeps his fire alive and ignores the haters, man.
Anytime you do something through hard work that somebody else wants to do, but they're not willing to do the hard part, you're gonna get detractors. So that's when you've done the right thing. Is when you get a bunch of people calling you names and making up bullshit about you.
Yeah, when they hate you, they love you.
Exactly. So I happen to be on this stream with Caro, which, by the way, she just has a book coming out, Dirty Deeds, and Yaira Frost and Fury, I believe it's called, that she just co-wrote with Eric. Go pick those up. I was on a stream with her. We got to talking, and she was like, wait, did you say you wrote a comic? I said, dude, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I wrote something.
Yeah, I don't know. So she said, you know what, just for funsies, send it to me. So I did. And we met, and she said, for someone who claims to have no idea what they're doing, You are off to an amazing start.
You're doing.
Yeah. So a couple of rewrites later, we have the completed script. She's like, oh, so by the way, I'm your editor. She became my editor. We have a plan for 10 books for this first run of the series. She seriously took my idea and turned it up to like 12 or 15.
Oh,
and
snap.
I'm telling you.
I gotta know, because you were talking about how editors may change this, and she said she elevated it in the best possible way. Were you surprised what an editor actually brought to the table?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified isn't even the right word. I don't know if there's a word in any human language to describe.
This is one of those shows. Be like, I was shitting myself that this mother.
I was shitting myself uncontrollably. I was terrified. I mean, honestly, this was the first person, the first professional person who was actually going to read my stuff. And when she told me, no, you're really on to something here, and now I'm your editor, I got out of that meeting, and I was just bawling, like full on woman emotions, just like, oh God, what am I gonna do?
That's not just woman emotions. I'll be crying my ass off too, my guy. Now, you crazy? Right? Come on. Now.
And I discovered what editors really do. She knows how my creative brain works so well that, I mean, all she does is ask me questions. It's not like she even really, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like she's changing things herself in the book. She's asking me questions about my book, and I say, wait, what if we did this? And she says, love it, do that. You should do that. And it's amazing how it's happened. Hello, sir.
What up, Mr. Cooper? How you doing?
Yeah, I love it.
So Dan, let me ask you something here. If Veiled Legacy was the mood, not a genre, what vibe does it walk into the room with?
Oh, everyone stops and stares. Everyone gets quiet. Everyone stops. They take over. If Veiled Legacy entered a bar, that's how I see it. If Veiled Legacy entered a bar, they are the vibe. They are the party.
Basically what happens to me when I go locally. Gotcha. Okay.
There you go.
I'm not talking shit. People just turn heads and everybody stays quiet. Like, I feel weird. Like, what the hell just happened? Then all of a sudden everybody says hello. I'm like, okay. Anyway. Now, what's secret about this world do you know that readers don't yet? Look at tease time. I'm gonna show the FundMyComic, folks. And if y'all don't know, you see that barcode right there, that little QR code? Be smart. That'll take you straight to the FundMyComic link, like that one below. But snap a picture, takes you right there. And you can start perusing and start supporting as we chat. All right, please support indie comics. All right.
The secret is it's so much bigger than these characters think. This first book really comes out like a shotgun blast. Like, it really just comes out like bam. It hits you right in the absolute face. But what you would never guess is that it is an incredibly expansive world, and it's all rooted in Greek mythology, starting back.
Really?
Yes, all starting back to ancient Piraeus, Greece in 450 BCE. My vampires, because this is a vampire comic, I love vampires. I love vampires.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite vampire of all time?
Oh, probably Lestat. I was still a huge fan of Anne Rice. Do I love what AMC has done to Anne Rice books? No. No, I will riot. I will absolutely riot. But huge fan. When I went through my first amputation as a 14-year-old girl, I basically lived.
14?
Yeah, 14. I had just started. I had started high school. I was in high school for like a month.
But what happened?
And then I had that
If you don't
done.
mind me asking.
Oh, I was born with multiple disabilities. And they spent years and years and years with all these experimental surgeries. Like I said, Rocket Raccoon. And it wasn't working. So the only thing they could do was they could reset the bones twice a year in my foot, or they could amputate. And I was like, I told y'all like 6 years ago, just amputate it. And you were like, no, let's torture me some more. Yeah. And you're like, let's just keep doing this stuff. So they ended up amputating. And then when I was 36, they had to take 6 more inches of it because the length was destroying my back. So I had a really cool idea when I was 20 something, like, what if she had like a leg there was a vampire slayer or a vampire hunter that had a leg that was basically made by James Bond's Q, and it had like a hydraulic steak launcher and iron spikes, and
I was already in your head like, yo, steak launcher and the legs, you do a kick,
a toe knife, and all that stuff. So I mean, I did a lot of research. Like,
wait a minute, you're scaring me. Wait, Dani, if I approach you at a con or something, you're not, you don't have those, you're not armed like that, are you?
I do have a prosthetic leg, and I did take Aikido for many years.
Oh, shit. Hey, let me messing with Dani,
huh? I will be at MegaCon next month.
That's why I said that. Because I know I'm gonna get my daughter in. Hopefully, my daughter's my daughter. I'm not in Florida, but my daughter is Ali Mega. She's a cute little Puerto Rican goth girl, and I asked if she wants to attend and take some pictures, and and talk to people on my behalf. She said yes, so I'm waiting for approval, and hopefully she gets in. And if she does, I'll make sure she go visit you.
I would love that. I'll give her some stickers and stuff. That would be
wonderful. She'll love that. So you're gonna see how cute she is too.
Yeah. Oh,
get no ideas, fellas. All right.
I'll protect her. I promise.
Now,
I promise.
Dani, every creator leaves fingerprints in their work, right? Now, what part of Veil Legacy is like 100% Dani?
Oh, all of it. All of it. Because here's the funny part. This book, remember I said I was in a really bad place when I wrote this book. I was actually in therapy. Because I'll just say it, I was in an abusive marriage, and rather than my ex, doing anything about himself, I was the problem.
I mean, being accountability. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, right? They say that women are not accountable, but when it comes to abusers, they're not accountable.
Right. So I was the problem, and I just needed to go to therapy to learn how to deal with his ass. So I went to therapy, and it was.
I mean, it just sounds stupid when you hear it out loud. It just sounds so crazy how people the logic of the legal system or whatever it is. Like,
well, and I was so young at the time too, because I mean, come on, 23, that's young. That really is very young. Your neurons are still forming connections and stuff. So, like, if I think about it, like, I have children that are 26, and I'm like, oh my God,
and my baby's 25.
Yeah. So I went into therapy, and she's like, why don't you just try writing this down to try and, work through it? Okay. And so those two things just kind of blended together. I grew up disabled in the 80s and 90s, and
a good time to grow up that way because kids were assholes.
No, and as we've discovered in the last 24 hours, it's still not a great place.
Sadly, it's fucking sad, Dani. Like, yo,
I know, right?
I mean, our generation needs to do better. Come on, guys. Come on, gals. Let's do a little bit better.
So this whole first book is basically me dealing with being an amputee, being in an abusive relationship, having, all of these issues and just working through it. And the whole premise of this book there's a couple things. One is happiness with yourself doesn't just happen. You have to choose that. And if I wanted happy, healthy, well-adjusted children, I needed to do that for myself. So saving yourself, you have to save yourself before you can save the world. So that was really the premise. So for the comic, the main character, Emma Hogan, is very much me as an amputee, the anger I feel about that, the things I've worked through in that regard, the stuff I have dealt with, being called a cripple, being treated that way. The cool things I would love to see, like I'd love to have a stake launcher. Who would not want a weaponized prosthetic leg if you were an amputee? Like, come on. That would be the coolest thing ever.
What was that Quentin Tarantino flick with the shorty had the machine gun leg?
Yeah, funny story. I wrote mine 3 years before that movie came out.
Oh, really? Oh, yo.
My dad was like, "You should sue." I'm like, "I'm pretty sure he has better lawyers, but I'll think about that."
He probably does have better lawyers, but did he see your script? Come on.
And I watched that and I was like, none of this could happen. That looks so painful. That looks so painful. But very much Emma is my anger, my sense of duty, the pain, the actual physicality of being an amputee. Definitely that, again, that anger. And then her twin brother, Jimmy, he's very much my nerdy side. He's a lot of my late brother. My late brother was an engineer.
Sorry, you lost your baby brother?
I did.
Older or baby?
Baby.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Baby brother. Yeah, me too. It was really rough. And luckily he figured out, I never got to sit and talk to him about it, but he figured out that Jimmy was totally based on him. And
he did.
Yeah, his girlfriend told me. I was like, okay, good. I feel good about that. But he's basically, very much him. And then Layla, who is, I know Emma should be my favorite. I know, but Layla is 1000% my favorite character. She is my sarcastic mouth, my sense of humor.
So all of that's the character that represents your creative spirit, you would say.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's definitely nice. Again, it's always nice to kind of put yourself in the story. Of course, man. These pieces, because the story is you. It comes from you.
Yes.
So there's always going to be a piece of you in it and a character that represents kind of who you are, which is dope. Mm-hmm. Now, and with that, did this project teach you anything about yourself as if you're working on it? Been working on it?
Absolutely. It's so crazy how therapeutic it is. And, there were times where I question the self-insert because I know how a lot of the fandom feels about it. But and that was something that I had some very real conversations with myself. Is this really the project I want to go forward with, knowing the conversation around self-insert these days? And
I kind of hate that. Listen, be open to everybody that wants to create and help them along on the journey. There's still people that feel that they're gatekeepers, feel they need to talk shit. Like, stop it. You know what I mean? Welcome everybody. That's it. I love talking to everybody. I love this. Look at your story is amazing. And this is your first project, comic book project. This is dope. And I wish people would just take the time to listen. And they'll be like, all right, man, let's support. And that's it. No gatekeeping, no bullshit. Stop the nonsense. Let's go. Let's go.
The conclusion I came to with the self-insert is that, you can't do a self-insert when it comes to legacy characters like Superman. You don't bring Superman down to you. You come up to Superman. That's how that works.
No,
He's already established.
Absolutely.
He's an established character.
Thing, yes.
Right. When it comes to an original character that is your personal story, then that you have to do the self-insert. That is the self-insert.
So I'm beautiful. Look at this character. Oh, that art looks insane too, baby. What?
Thank you. I have an amazing artist. His name is Evan Scale, and he has worked with my editor on her book, Dirty Deeds. He was the artist for that one. He's absolutely incredible. And he happens to be Greek. And I didn't know until our first meeting, and Caro said, "Oh, and by the way, he's Greek." I was like, "Shut your mouth!" I'm like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "I wanted to surprise you," and I was like, "This is perfect! Like, this is all working out so well. Like, how it's all come together." And like when I told him that there is so much Greek mythology in this story, he was like, "Oh yes." He's like, "I'm into this."
Wait, so does the vampire lore come from Greek mythology? I always kind of thought it was kind of Roman for some reason.
Well, see, here is the cool thing is that I have studied vampire lore for almost 30 years now because of this book. Yeah, I know. I'm such a nerd. I'm a massive nerd. It's so proud.
I've been studying this shit for 30 years. I'm playing me, son.
So the great thing about vampire mythology is that every single culture across the planet has vampire mythology.
Okay.
Every single one. And that includes the Greeks. And my vampires actually, and I've tweaked a couple of things because that's the great thing about Greek mythology is because every single Greek myth story changes here and there. There is no true canon for Greek myths because they change their own stories every time because it was an oral tradition. So my vampires come from this monster called the Impusa. And she was the daughter of the goddess Hecate, who was the goddess of magic, thresholds, the crossroads, childbirth, all that stuff. And this monster child of hers was a woman. She had the body of a woman. She had flames for hair. One leg was a donkey and another leg was bronze. And when I saw that, I was like, I'm listening. You have my attention. One leg is fake. Let's go. And she had fangs and she would feed on men, and not like a succubus. She would eat their souls and their flesh. And
she wanted all of them.
She wanted all of them. She could shapeshift. She could turn herself into a beautiful woman and seduce these men. So I tweaked the story a little bit to, obviously suit mine. And my vampires came from basically Impusa getting very mad at her mom for cursing her. She's like, "Hey, you are way too voracious. You're stealing souls from me that I'm trying to escort through the crossroads to the afterlife. So you've been a very bad girl. I'm going to nerf your powers." And Impusa was like, nah, I ain't having it. And she grabs this man, tries to do a ritual. It doesn't work out. She accidentally creates vampires, but on the same night, because Hecate is the goddess of magic, she kind of has some foresight and can see what's going to happen. She creates something called the Brotherhood of Abraxas, which is kind of like, if you are familiar with Anne Rice or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I did take some inspiration from those things. The Brotherhood of Abraxas would be like my version of a Watcher's Council. They are a scholarly sorcerer collective that exists throughout the ages to kind of study the supernatural, protect humanity from these monsters, and look out for these hunters and train them and, keep the numbers of the monsters down.
Ooh.
So what happened that night, not only do the vampires get created, the Brotherhood of Abraxas gets created, and the first of the hunters get conceived. Because what happens is the first vampire goes back, he turns his father into a vampire. His father goes and lays with his wife, gets her pregnant. 9 months later comes this hybrid, half vampire, half human, first hunter.
The vampire.
A vampire.
Love it. I mean, and look, that's a scary looking ass vampire.
Isn't he great?
Holy
we worked
shit.
on that so much. And one of my very
I don't want
good
to see
friends,
this at night, please.
I know, right? One of my very good friends is Oscar-winning special effects designer and artist, Brian Sipe. He worked on movies like Passion of the Christ, Van Helsing, Marvel movies.
Ooh,
yeah, X-Men, stuff like that. And he's going to design a vampire too for me.
Woo!
And I was very excited when
you on fire, baby. What is going on here?
I hope so.
We hope so. We ain't hoping so. We're gonna make shit happen today. Because folks, listen. Folks, let's just talk about the campaign real quick. Because again, it is live right now on FundMyComic. Before we continue the conversation, we got to talk about this. It's live right now. That QR code, that link below. I'm showing you the page right now. 10 backers, salute. Bless you guys, for supporting independent comics. You know what I mean? I mean, shooting for 7,000 7 racks. Right? We got 167 days to go. About a time. And I know y'all getting your tax returns, so don't be bullshitting y'all broke. That's nonsense. Y'all getting them checks. That's nonsense. You know what I mean? That's more than enough time for you to actually contribute something new, something different, something exciting. Come on now. This is what you got to do right here. I mean, people video, I won't show it off here. That I'm going to do that on purpose now. So make sure you visit this campaign right there, the QR code on that. Check out her video and what she's talking about. And this campaign is live right now. Again, look at that art. This is just a taste.
Dude, click on the updates, and it'll show you all of.
Oh, wait. What's
click that and scroll down, or go to where the first one that says concept art, because it's got all the the concept art.
They want to cooperate. Let's see.
I hate it when that happens. Computers don't like me.
Well, it's not computers. This is some browsers that don't want to cooperate with certain these things for some odd reason. I feel because I can't see certain Kickstarter campaigns on any other browser other than Mozilla for some odd reason.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that.
So let me check this.
Okay.
Right now on Mozilla. Let's go. If Mozilla do it, then you know what? Fuck Google Chrome. Google, you suck.
I have a lot of problems with Google Chrome, not just with the Kickstarter or the FundMyComic page, but also like other social media platforms.
Yeah. If this, I got it. Let's see. If this shit shows the art, then we know that fucking hit it. What is it?
Oh, go.
Wait, it's still loaded.
Go back. Well, it's not this one. Go back to updates.
Mozilla want to be a little bit too fast. Come on, man. We gotta make this happen. It's I'm up north, and you gotta excuse the snow. Don't make this shit. Man.
Oh yeah, you guys got hit hard.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you, I busted my ass.
I'm in the Midwest. Okay, so go to where it just says concept art. The last one.
The last.
Yeah.
Number 4.
No.
Oh,
yeah. Well, there you go.
4. Oh, there goes Jimmy. Oh shit.
Yeah, there's her twin brother Jimmy. That is her engineer, And we're going to see his little symbol that says no Wi-Fi. We're going to be selling merch.
I like that. Yo, please tell me you got that on a t-shirt, right?
Yeah, we're going to have that on the t-shirt.
I want one. For sure.
And that's my girl, Layla. Love her.
All right.
She is a witch and a medium. She sees the dead. She is actually from the Brotherhood of Abraxas. That is their symbol on her wrist.
And I love when you say that shit. Yo, are you serious? Okay, it's the way you say it, the first Amish vampire. There's literally never been an Amish vampire.
This is okay. So remember, this one was actually written in 2004. Okay.
I love
so
it.
Back when I wrote this, it would have been normal for someone not to have a cell phone on them when their car broke down.
Of course.
Right. So when I was trying to adapt this, my editor was like, what if they're Amish? And I was like, because this takes place in Southeast Missouri. And all of a sudden I was like, dude, we have a huge Amish community here. Like that is the possibilities were just absolute. Like I tossed around Amish or Mennonite and I was like, nope, we're going with Amish. I freaking love it. And when I wrote the dialogue for it, she started to question it and then she researched it and came back and said, nope, you're right. My bad. I mean, this has been one of the greatest relationships of my life. Is me and this editor. Caro's amazing. But this is
what artwork, man.
This is not incredible. And let me tell you something. When I saw this artwork for the first time, this is the first time I've seen my characters. I wrote them 22 years ago. And I mean, screaming. And my children have grown up with these characters. Like they're siblings. The main character is named after my oldest daughter. Her twin brother, his name James, that is my oldest child's middle name, and also my brother and my father's middle name. Layla is the only one that I just completely pulled that one out of my ass. Like I just named that one just out of nowhere, but everyone seems to have, I don't know, I like naming my characters after people, you know. I actually have I'll tell you something really funny. The detectives in the book, there's a detective Benjamin Acevedo in the book, and I named him after my friend Tara Acevedo, and she is Puerto Rican. I love her very much. And she's been such a huge support, like in real life. Like she provides me all my pens and notebooks. And when I had my surgery, she brought me soup and everything. And she comes over and gives me, prayer cards.
Some gocho, bro. Somebody gave you some gocho, bro. That's that good stuff.
Yes, the good stuff. And she's been amazing. And I told her, said, I have to tell you something. And she said, okay. I said, remember that character I named after your family? And she said, yeah, Detective Benjamin Acevedo. And I said, yes, I have to tell you something. And she said, what? And I said, please don't hurt me. Please put the chancla down before I finish the sentence. And she goes, what? I said, he's Mexican.
Oh, shit.
I said, his name is Acevedo for you, but he's Mexicano for me.
Now, you're making me feel like I'm back in Florida right now. Every time I went into somebody in Florida, I was like, what part of Mexico are you from? I said, Puerto Rican. What you mean?
Oh God!
And what's funny, I would laugh so much. I said, no, I'm not thinking as an Solomon Mexicano.
She's from Brooklyn, and she's like, it's fine. When your last name sounds like avocado.
Yeah, what choice do you have? Right?
But yeah, I named that detective after her family. And then my youngest daughter, her name is Amelia, and she actually takes classes in high school for forensics. Okay. And she developed Detective Acevedo's partner. So we just named it after her. Her name is Detective Nicole Perry, and she is a serologist. A serologist is a specific type of forensic scientist that studies the body fluids, like blood and saliva and stuff.
Oh, like Dexter and shit. Come on now, stop playing.
Yeah. So every part of my family has been involved in this process in some way.
Love that.
It's been awesome.
I can't imagine. Now, but how does this project challenge you though, creatively, especially in this now comic book form?
Oh, that's a good question. It has really challenged me to find ways to use the environment better, to paint with that palette of emotion, with the environment, with light and shadow, with how do I put it? Okay, to remind everyone, I had surgery a few days ago and I'm on muscle relaxers and all kinds of stuff.
You and me both, Mom. Don't you
I am extremely fortunate that I have such amazing and talented friends that are amazing and talented writers. Caro, for one, my editor, but also Bo DeMaio. He is the creator of X-Men 97. He, wrote that series. He wrote for The Witcher. Incredibly talented individual. He's actually decided he is my writing instructor and has sent me so many books and given me so many writing exercises. But between the two of them and with the format of the comic book, I used to write in the book format and screenwriting, and with that you have this freedom with more movement. Prose is so much easier to demonstrate emotion, and so is screenwriting, because you can do more action in a scene, and with comic books you can only do one action per person in a panel, and you can't write prose. Your picture is the prose. Your artist is the one who's replacing that prose. So what it's done is taught me or pushed me to reformat my thinking and how I kind of describe an emotion to my artist. Instead of saying, okay, this person is embarrassed or this person is angry, I actually spend the time describing the person's facial expressions. And I have started carrying around a notebook and a pen, so whenever I am feeling a specific emotion, I'll grab a mirror and look at myself and write it down. And it's taught me to be more, and that's something that going back to the question you'd asked me before about things I've learned about myself, it's challenged me to be more aware of my own emotional self and how to describe that as a writer, how to be more show don't tell, and the best ways to bring that in a comic environment. And it's also made me more painfully aware of the ways we are lacking in the mainstream comic, industry.
I love the answer. She's serious. Fuck, you hear this? She got passion. I dig it. I love it. Now, talk to me here about this. If not even if, what am I talking about? when this becomes a franchise, what's the dream? Like is it a series, animation, a film? Like who directs it? What's your dream
Me.
casting? Can I have a part?
Absolutely. I see it as everything.
Love it.
I would love to have it as an anime. I'd love to have it as a series, as a movie. When I
You
wrote
ever
the
saw
book,
Seis Manos, the Latin anime that Danny Trejo did some voice acting in it? Yeah, it was called Seis Manos. Check it out. It
yeah,
was a
okay,
Latin anime, though. But
okay,
Latin. And like, yo, Latino, okay. So I'm saying, yo, give me a shot. Let's go.
okay, okay. But when I first sat down with First Draft over here and wrote it, I absolutely did envision it as a comic and as a series. Like each chapter ended with like a cliffhanger, you know. And I really think that the way I am writing it and this huge interconnected universe that not just exists in my head, but these giant stacks of notebooks that are all over my house, I think it would translate very well to film. I really do. And
Excellent.
I have kind of that director spirit. I feel like as comic writers, as comic creators, that's kind of the other hat you wear.
It's storyboarding, yeah. You're
Yeah.
creating film. Listen,
Yes.
that's why I always do like in comic books. What are they? It's storyboards.
Yes.
You know, that's what a comic book is. It's like, could you imagine this with a movie? And sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And when you are talking to your collaborators, when you're talking to your artist, to your editor, to your letterer, penciler, when you're talking to these other people, you are directing them. You are directing them.
Yeah, man.
So I can totally 1,000% see myself directing a film or a series about Veiled Legacy. I would. I don't know if I could relinquish control.
Danny, listen, to be looking is what I'm saying. So, you know, start pitching, mama. I think you got something special here. You got a great energy. You have a vibe, and you're about it. You're about it. Now, when this campaign funds, right, and readers start diving in, what do you hope they feel when they close that final page?
Relatability.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I want people to be able to relate to these characters because this story, pardon me, this story, I mean, it's not just about vampires. Obviously, it's about living. It's about living with who you are and the life you've been given. It's about family and the family you have and the family you've lost and how you live with that and the way you make it through this world and what you do to grow as a person and enlighten yourself in you know, so to speak. So I hope that people are able to read it and say, man, I get that. Because I firmly believe that everyone can relate to every other single human being on planet Earth if they just talk to them and listen. Yeah. It's all about how you frame your thinking. You know, if I'm missing a leg, okay? But that doesn't mean you can't relate to that experience in some way. You just have to find a frame of reference.
I know. I've had people in my family that have had their physical struggles, so I could absolutely understand your story, relate, and you know, and like, I'm cool with you. You know what I mean? I've always been like that with people. I mean, I tell everybody like they're regular, man. Like, listen, you know. What a disability, it's not. I mean, what you could say was not. That's, it's your power, man. Your power comes from that. You turn that disability into power. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
And people need to understand that, turn that into something better. Don't feel bad. It's
right.
Like,
and I don't want to.
I find you inspiring. So it's like,
I don't want to be. I don't want to be preachy. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be preachy with it. I don't want to turn it into something like that.
You don't need to do that, but it's like, but you're doing something, but just that people at the end of the day should, could see, like, look at that. You have no excuse, and we good. Like, make shit happen. Stop it. You know what I mean? Don't be a hater. Start doing. And that's what I'm talking about. You feel me? So any last words, Dani? Like, give me the elevator pitch real quick before we go. Like, somebody jump in the elevator with you, and like we're about to go 4 floors down to Hilton. Yeah, tell me about your book real quick.
It's a gothic occult body horror about an amputee vampire hunter forced to fight for her family who has lost everything and has to rebuild. It's a character-driven gothic horror comic that fuses mythology, cult ritualism, and brutal supernatural action following an amputee vampire hunter forced to battle. So
yeah. You know how many people cannot do that? When I tell them to do that, they freeze. Like, they start getting, they start sounding like toads.
I'll do you better. The first book is called Midwest Gothic, and it's about a rural Midwestern family's act of kindness leads to an unnatural home invasion, leaving Emma Hogan to survive the night alone as her twin brother Jimmy races against the clock to save his family from forces unknown before they are lost forever.
Wait, if that don't entice you folks, I don't know what does. I mean, that's a social right there in the bottom. They're also in the show notes. But the most important thing, FundMyComic, right there. That's the campaign at the bottom. Right there, the QR code at the top. You know what I mean? Make it happen, man. To show that love, all right? This is what we got to do. Because we don't just read indie comics. We build the indie comic movement, baby. So if you believe in both storytelling, if you believe in creators betting on themselves, if you believe legacy is something you write into existence, then go right now, like I said, to FundMyComic.com and back Veiled Legacy. You heard? Because be early, be proud, and be part of something before the world catches up. All right? So, Dani, she's building legacy right here, and I appreciate your time today. Now,
thank you.
Mi gente, this is my only question for y'all. Are y'all backing it? Make it happen today. All right? You heard? Hasta la próxima. Huepa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit ComicCrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at UndercoverCapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.